Welcome back to Tax to You, the practical tax channel where we answer all of your tax related questions. Today, in 5 minutes or so, I'm going to be showing you how to cancel your self-employment. To do this, I'll cover the reasons you may want to deregister and the criteria for deregistration, the 2 steps you'll need to follow in order to fully deregister, and then some other checks to make during your deregistration. Before we get into it though, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more helpful tax content. Submit your questions in the comments below and we will ensure to get them answered either in the form of a reply or possibly a dedicated video just like this one. Check out our website using the link below, because although our aim is always to educate our clients as much as possible and share this information, we understand that tax can be confusing, stressful, and time consuming, and that's where we can step in and help. Check out the thousands of reviews on Trustpilot from clients who trusted us to do just that. So what are the criteria for cancelling a self-employment and why might you want to do it? Now, you might actually think that the only reason to cancel a self-employment is because you've stopped trading altogether, but that won't be the case for everyone. HMRC's guidance states that you only need to be registered as self-employed if your total turnover from self-employment exceeds £1,000. This means that even if you've had a successful self-employment in the past, if the turnover of that self-employment drops below that £1,000 threshold, then you are entitled to close down that self-employment and stop reporting to HMRC, even where you are continuing to trade, albeit at a small volume. The risk here, of course, is that your turnover later exceeds the threshold again and you spend more time registering and deregistering than actually running your business. In reality, most people who are looking to cancel their self-employment will be doing so because they have stopped trading altogether, whether that's because they're moving into full-time employment as PAYE, they're selling their business, they could be retiring, or even where a startup venture just hasn't really worked out. Whatever the reason for deregistration, the only real check that you'll need to make is to confirm that your self-employment has either ceased completely or that your total turnover from all self-employments has now dropped below £1,000. Now, what steps do you need to take in order to deregister? Keep in mind here that each tax year has a start and an end date. It's the 6th of April through to the 5th of April the following year. This is important to understand, as even if you stopped working as self-employed on the 30th of September 2023, you're not going to be able to cancel your self-employment status until you submit your 23-24 tax return, and that will only open for submission on the 5th of April 2024. Once you've submitted your last tax year, you can then request the cancellation of your UTR and the self-assessment status. The actual close down of your self-employment can be done in 2 simple steps. Step 1 is to contact HMRC and inform them that your self-employment has ended. It won't be enough to just assume that they're going to figure this out on their own because you've taken up full-time employment or that you've started claiming universal credit. You will need to either call the HMRC helpline and confirm the deregistration with an agent, or you can use HMRC's online form. To complete the online form, you'll need a government gateway login, and then you'll need your unique taxpayer reference and national insurance number to hand. Once you've told HMRC that you've stopped trading as self-employed, the second step will be to report your final self-employed income figures to HMRC via the self-assessment tax return. Now, this could mean that it's going to be your last tax return that you'll need to complete. That usually happens when the self-employed income is your only reason for submitting a tax return in the first place. Of course, if you have other triggers or other reasons such as capital gains, savings income, rental income, then you still need to complete one. To report that final self-employed income figure, you'll calculate your profit figure in the usual way, But there may also be some additional steps to take, such as considering whether you have any additional capital allowances to claim as a result of closing down the business, or possibly whether you have any capital gains to declare as a result of disposing of business assets. If the business made a loss in the final period of trading, then you may also need to consider terminal loss relief, which allows you to carry that loss backwards to offset in previous tax years. Due to all of this, the profit figure for that final period of trade can be a little bit more tricky to calculate and may require the assistance of a professional. Don't forget, here at Tax2You, we have a professional team that can help you with this. Just send us a message at info@tax2you.co.uk or use the link in the description. And finally, what other steps should you take when cancelling your self-employment? If you make it to this point, then you should have successfully ended your self-employment with HMRC. However, there may be a few additional steps depending on your personal circumstance and the type of business. Here's a quick fire of some of the additional checks. If your business was registered for VAT, then don't forget to cancel that VAT registration with HMRC. Anyone who is working in the construction industry should also contact the construction industry helpline to inform them that you've ceased trading. If you had employees and were registered as a PAYE employer, then you'll also need to close your payroll scheme. Following on from submitting your profit figure for the final period of trade, you'll also need to pay any outstanding tax to HMRC. And don't forget to maintain financial records for 6 years following the January submission deadline of the self-assessment tax return. After viewing this video, you should now understand what the criteria are for cancelling a self-employment. You'll know a few of the reasons why you might want to cancel. You'll also know the 2 main steps you'll need to take to bring your self-employment to a close with HMRC, and you'll be aware of any additional steps that may apply to your business. Now, if you don't want the hassle of contacting HMRC yourself to cancel your UTR registration and your self-employment status, then Tax2You can offer this service for only £25 plus VAT. Follow the link below in the description. That is all for today. Don't forget to check us out at tax2you.co.uk and subscribe to the channel for more helpful tax content. Thanks for watching. See you next time.